What are the pros and cons of living in Utah? We're talking Salt Lake County and Utah County combined. If you're someone who's interested in moving in Utah, this video is really going to help you understand why you should move to Utah, or maybe why you shouldn't move to Utah. There's 4 different things we're going to be going over. 1 is the job growth and economic status of what's happening in Utah. 2 is going to be the cost of living in Utah. Is it going up or is it going down? 3 is going to be the culture and lifestyle. And number 4 is going to be understanding the air pollution and or air quality, and what are the causes and what is the state doing because of this. All coming up in this video. Hi guys, my name is Jenny and I am with Real Broker, and I'm excited to work with you. So if you are interested in having a one-on-one conversation with me about your next move, click that link down there below, because wherever you're at, home ownership starts here right on my channel. All right, guys, let's jump into it. Number 1, job opportunities and economy strength. Utah has always been known to have a strong economy and good job opportunities. In fact, according to the stats across the nation, Utah is above in their unemployment rate, which we're about a 3.2. The national average is about a 4.2. And our job opportunities is as a 1.2, whereas the rest of the nation's at a less than a 1%. So just know and keep that in mind of the census report happening there in December of 2024 is where I got that information from. Utah has always been a good opportunity to grow a business. 1, for the tax purposes. 2, for the community and the culture here that creates the opportunities for those who are a lot of young bucks coming out of college, wanting to start their own small businesses, have a clean mind. You are dealing with a culture that really emphasizes the importance of education. That culture stems from their religion of Christianity and the main base of the Mormon religion. They have been asked by their Mormon leaders to actually attend college as one thing that they've been asked to God to be doing. What that has done over the decades in Utah is created this environment where people are wanting to be business ownerships, taking the thrive, taking the risk, and creating what we call the Lehigh Silicon Scopes here in the Utah County area and in Salt Lake continue to thrive. What does that mean for the housing market, though? That means the housing market is being supported by those who continually have jobs, who have the infrastructures to be able to afford homes, but yet we still have a supply and a demand issue. So what that means is there are more buyers standing in line than there are supply available. But something different's been happening within the last 2 months, and that is that the sellers aren't wanting to lower their prices and buyers aren't wanting to compete with the high prices. So we still have a supply and demand issue where buyers do want to get into single family homes. It's the American dream. It's what Utah people want. But we're seeing more of the high rise, the condos, and the townhouses coming in because that's what people can afford. This moves us into topic number 2, and that is the cost of living in Utah. Right now in January, your average cost of gas is going to be about $3.50 a gallon. Depending on the type of gas you get, that could be less or more. Your gallon of milk is about $3.50 as well. Your loaf of bread is about $2.70. So there's a lot of different ways of looking at the cost of living. But Utah statistically has been known to be on the top 10 states of the most expensive states to be living in. In fact, a lot of people are saying that we're starting to be compared to the cost of living in California. We have had a lot of a migration of people moving from California and people moving from Texas because of the economic strength that we have here in Utah, especially during the COVID time. So when you're looking at the cost of living in Utah, do know that it's going to be more expensive than the average in the United States. What that means for the average home sale means that you're looking around a $500,000 for an average single family home. Now in Salt Lake County, that is much higher. You're near the $600,000 range. You go more down south into St. George or in Cedar, you're going to be more around the $450,000, nearing that $500 range as well. If you're more around the Wasatch County, where your Park City is at and your a lot of touristy areas are at, you're looking at an average home of $1.4 million. So the average is really fluctuant around the whole state, whereas up north around the Davis County, you're more a little bit less. You're around $475,000 for a home price over there. Everything's going to depend on, are we in springtime, are we in fall time, and what's happening with the interest rates. We are hoping the interest rates are going to flatline and sit around a 5.5%, but we just don't know. We do know with the election, we've got more security of knowing who the president is going to be and moving forward, of what the decisions are going to be, and trying to help that inflation and moving forward. Number 3 is going to be the air quality. It seems to be something that everybody talks about in Utah as the biggest con in living here in Utah. We have absolutely incredible mountain ranges. We've got lakes, we've got camping, we've got hiking, we've got skiing, we've got all 4 seasons and all the recreational things that you want to do. But the air quality seems to be an issue for a lot of people in moving here. I've had people say, look, I've got asthma or I've got medical needs. Do you recommend moving to Utah? Well, I am definitely not a doctor by all means, but I do know that we have what is called an inversion issue. And that is because the mountain ranges aren't able to release the pollution and it kind of blocks in and barricades us in. On top of that, we do get a lot of Las Vegas pollution and a lot of California's pollution that blows over here and then gets trapped. So Utah itself does not create a lot of the pollution, but it does get trapped inside the Utah air. So that is something to consider when you're moving here. Now, I grew up here. My lungs have acclimated. If I go down to a lower elevation and running, I tell you my lungs are ready to go because I have been raised in a drier area. Utah has, in the last 2 decades, had the infrastructure of growing more trees. More trees means cleaner air. More trees means a disperse of more water across the land. I like to see as Utah is a trending change of more of a greenery state than it is a desert. But let me tell you, it still is a desert, but the residents here are still trying to create more of a greenery area, which means the water needs to be spread across the valley. Do know in the summertime, we are asked to be able to restrict ourselves from watering our lawns because we do share our water. Because of the water that we're getting off the runoff of all the mountains and all the snow that we get, we do sell our water. So we try to reserve our water to their own residents here in Utah. Some people like it and some people don't. It just depends on if you do. Number 4 is my favorite one and the most talked about topic in Utah, and that is the lifestyle, culture, and recreational opportunities here. We have so many national parks, world-renowned parks between the Grand Canyon to Moab to Bryce Canyon. You got to go down to St. George, you can get warm weather. You can go up north and you get nice cold weather, and you can ski pretty much anywhere across the Wasatch Range, all the way down to Cedar City, all the way up to Davis County. We have got world-renowned ski slopes to the fact that the Winter Olympics is going to be coming here in 2034 again for the second time in the Park City area. So we do have so many opportunities out here. Majority of your people are going to want to be campers and hikers, boaters, fishers, hunters. That's the type of culture that you're going to get over here, is a lot of people who want to be outdoors and connecting with nature. I know I own a trailer. I'm mapping out when all of my camping trips are going to be happening because there's so many close camping opportunities within 20 to 30 minutes. Pretty much anywhere you live in Utah, you can find a national park that you can go camping in really close to where you're living. Living in Utah has the most amazing benefits of all 4 seasons. If that is something that you're interested in moving into Utah, click that Calendly link down there below. Let's get connected, talk about your situation, and see what's going to work best for you in moving and making your next move here to Utah. I'll see you guys in my next video.